British policy is influenced by supporters of a foreign power. How Britain's pro-Israel lobby exercises its influence and financial muscle today in Westminster. And how critics of Israel's foreign policy in the press get branded as anti-Semitic.
What's unique about the pro-Israeli lobbies is that they have such good access to politicians. They often operate behind the scenes, and they have primary regard, even though they may come from Britain, not to the interests of the British people, but to a mixture of what they see as British interests, but the interests of another country.
There are, of course, other groups lobbying on behalf of Israel in Britain, in addition to BICOM and the Conservative and Labour Friends of Israel. There's the Jewish Leadership Council, the Zionist Federation, and the Board of Deputies of British Jews. Aside from seeking to influence politicians and opinion formers, which is the stock and trade of any lobby, some members of the pro-Israel lobby are also especially aggressive towards British television and the press. March 2003. As American and British-led coalition forces invade Iraq, the BBC broadcasts a hard-hitting investigation into Israel's nuclear weapons program. The Israeli government press office compares the film to the worst of Nazi propaganda. The Israeli government immediately imposes restrictions on BBC crews in Israel. When Israel's Prime Minister Ariel Sharon visits Downing Street, the BBC alone is banned from his press conference. And Honest Reporting UK says the film is part of a campaign to vilify Israel. It says the inference behind the film is that Israel would have been a more appropriate target than Iraq for the coalition forces to attack. March 2004. Israeli Minister Nathan Sharansky complains to the BBC that its reporter Orla Guerin is anti-Semitic and that she shows total identification with the goals and methods of Palestinian terror groups. When she reports from Lebanon, Honest Reporting UK is there. Honest Reporting claims to have 175,000 subscribers. Thousands of them, many from the United States, bombard the BBC with emails alleging anti-Israel bias. BBC staff have told us.
There is a split in the Jewish community about Israel. The leaders tend to be blindly pro-Israeli. The Israel lobby does represent a narrow right-wing agenda, but it is not representative of the entire Jewish community.
Nonetheless, we found that calling critics of Israel's foreign policy anti-Semitic has become a deliberate tactic among some of Israel's more strident lobby groups. Here's an example from a blog based in New York. Its sole purpose is to scrutinize The Guardian's Comment is Free website. Hawkeye, the mystery man who says he runs it, told the Jewish Chronicle, besides the fact that CIF features a long list of anti-Zionists, including many Jewish anti-Zionists, its comment threads are full of vile anti-Semitic sentiments. How do you react to that?
I think it would be a terribly dangerous thing if the British press were made to feel that they couldn't criticise Israel because they're going to be held up as anti-Semite. I think it's a very disreputable argument.
I've been having a look through the Comment is Free Watch website. Here's what it's got to say about an article by Tony Lerman. It says that Lerman is making despicable, libelous and completely unsubstantiated allegations about Jews. It says, that's anti-Semitic and he's a nasty anti-Semite. I asked Tony Lerman what he feels about Hawkeye's comments.
It's upsetting, but one gets over it. I think there are people who are deliberately manipulating the use of the term anti-Semitism because they do see that it's useful in defending Israel.
It might well be that some critics of Israel are seriously anti-Semitic. Okay, deal with them on the case. Others are voicing a genuine feeling which should be respected and does not make them anti-Semitic.
I've been accused in certain newspapers because I've been talking to Hamas and Hezbollah of being anti-Semitic, and I just take that with a pinch of salt.
In the occupied territories, Israel is an apartheid state. There's no two ways about it. When settlers travel on one road and Palestinians have to use another road, when settlers are governed by Israeli law and Palestinians are governed by military law, you are talking about apartheid.